President Bola Tinubu says he will work with National Assembly to change fortune of Nigerians. Jigawa State Governor Umar Namadi dissolves governing boards and sacks heads of parastatals. Italy mourns former Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi. Today is Wednesday, 25th of Zulqa'dah 1444 after the Hijrah of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, which is equivalent to 14th of June 2023. I'm Khadija Nolamin, Radio 4. President Bola Tinubu says he will work transparently with the 10th National Assembly to ensure that Nigerians enjoy the dividends of democracy. In a congratulatory letter to members of the Assembly on the successful conduct of elections into various principal positions, Bola Ahmed Tinubu said that their election signals a new dawn of fulfillment of campaign promises. The president congratulated Senator Godswill Akpabio and Honorable Tajuddin Abbas on their election by members of the two chambers as President of the Senate and Speaker of the House of Representatives. He also felicitated with Abdulaziz Yari, Idris Wasi, and Aminu Jaji for enriching the process with their participation in the leadership election. Bola Tinubu said that the desires of Nigerians would only be met with collaboration, support, and unity of purpose between the executive and the legislature. Jigawa State Agricultural Supply Company JASCO says it has commenced the distribution of fertilizer to its 36 outlet stores for sale to farmers at subsidized rates. The general manager of the company, Alhaji Khalid Rabi Umaigatari, made this known to newsmen in Dutse. He said the fertilizer was ordered by the company and it is now being distributed to its stores across the state. Rabiu Khalid Maigatari said the company has provided improved seeds of rice, wheat, maize, sorghum, millet, and beans for sale to farmers at affordable price. According to him, over 20 million naira was spent by the company to purchase the improved seeds. He said the state governor, Malam Umar Namadi, is committed to improving farm production and welfare of farmers in the state. The Jigawa state government has vowed to collaborate with any organization willing to join hands with the state government to bring about development projects in the state. State Governor Malam Umar Namadi gave the assurance yesterday when Mrs. Tina Anana from the Solid Minerals Development Fund Abuja paid him a courtesy visit at Government House in Dutse. He expresses his administration's readiness in providing all necessary support to the national and international investors on solid minerals to enhance the living condition of Jigawa State citizens. Earlier speaking, Mrs. Tina Anana says they were in Jigawa State to inspect and discover the potentiality of the state on solid minerals, agriculture, mining, and investment opportunities. Correspondent Zulkifilo Abdullah Dauku will report that the organization promised to collaborate with Umar Namadi administration to achieve the desired objectives. Jigawa State Governor Malam Umar Namadi has relieved the appointment of chairmen, board members, and chief executives of parastatals with immediate effect. This was contained in a statement yesterday by the public relations officer at the office of the secretary to the state government, Ismaila Ibrahim Dutse, and signed by the permanent secretary, administration and finance, office of the secretary to the government of Jigawa State, Muhammad K. Dagacheri. The statement explained that career executive secretaries, managing directors, directors general, and general managers were not affected. The statement directed all the affected officials to hand over government properties in their possession to the most senior officer in their agencies. The statement further added that the governor appreciates the contributions of the sacked appointees and wish them success in their future endeavors. A Kano State Sharia court presided over by Malam Umar Lawal Abakar has sentenced one Muhammad Sabiu to 6 months in a correctional facility for disguising as a madman to sell illicit drugs. Muhammad Sabiu, alongside two others, Muhammad Mubarak and Abakar Ali, all of Gwale local government area, was arraigned by the police. The police told the court that while Muhammad Sabiu disguised as a madman to go around the hideouts of drug sellers, buy and sell for them, his two other accomplices patronized him. When the charges were read against them by the court, the three pleaded guilty. The judge sentenced them to 6 months each in prison with an option of 10,000 naira fine. The judge also ordered that they should receive 20 lashes each before leaving the premises of the court. You are listening to the news from the studio of Sawaba. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Kaduna electricity consumers staged a peaceful protest at the headquarters of the Kaduna Electricity Distribution Company in the state to express their dissatisfaction over lack of stable electricity. The protest was organized by a group coalition of electricity consumers, which included residents from Sabangari's New Extension and other communities, as well as consumer associations like the Welders Association, Students Union, National Youth Council, and Printers Association. According to the protesters, business activities have been severely affected due to the lack of reliable power supply, leading to the collapse of several businesses in the area. Mubarak Abdul Ghani, speaking on behalf of the protesters, urged the management to improve their services to enhance the residents' quality of life. During the protest, the manager of Rigasa feeder station, Aliu Saidu, briefly engaged with the protesters, requesting them to end the protest and agree to arrange a meeting. Two young women and a boy have been rescued from suspected human traffickers by immigration personnel at the Yori border in Kebbi State. The rescued victims were said to be on their way to Libya through the Ilela Board in Sokoto State when they were intercepted. The two women's names were given as Rosabeth Udi, aged 24, and Benita Udaji, aged 19, both from Delta State, while the boy Yako Gigi from Benue State were being transported to Libya by two men and a woman who claimed to be the victims' uncles and aunts when immigration officials at the border in Kebbi intercepted them. While briefing journalists, Kebbi's immigration controller Rabi Bashir Nuhu said that upon integration, the victims said they were directed by the traffickers in Libya. While receiving the victims, National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP's head of operation, Sadiq Atiku, assured the victims would be reunited with their families after undergoing rehabilitation. Several houses were allegedly burnt yesterday as fighting intensified between two communities in Gwer East local government area of Benue State. It was reported that the rivalry between the warring communities erupted at the weekend while one of the warring parties tried to bury their dead. Witnesses said that trouble escalated yesterday morning after both parties went haywire, shooting sporadically, and that the market in the area was set ablaze. It will be recalled that during the immediate past administration of Governor Samuel Otom, all solutions proffered to the crisis, including suspension of traditional rulers, failed. The police also evolved dialogue to end the crisis to no avail. Police spokesman in the state, Catherine Anene, who confirmed the incident, said that the situation was under control as operatives had been drafted to the areas. Italy is marking the death of former Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi with a spectacle befitting the grand soap opera of his life. The one-time cruise singer who led Italy with no prior political experience built a media empire. The Archbishop of Milan will lead Silvio Berlusconi's state funeral in the city's Grand Cathedral today. Italy is holding a day of national mourning. All Italian and European flags on public buildings have been lowered to half-mast. This kind of tribute is unprecedented for a former prime minister. A state funeral is a privilege usually reserved for popes, war heroes, and serving ministers. Milan is a city deeply associated with Silvio Berlusconi, where he was born and where he started his career. This is the end of the news, but before I go, recap of the major story. You heard President Bola Tinubu says he will work with National Assembly to change fortune of Nigerians. Jigawa State Governor Umar Namadi dissolves governing boards and sacks head of parastatals. Italy mourns former Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi. On behalf of the head of news department, Salamatun Hudaliman, our editor Kabir Musa Ringim, our continuity announcer Halima Hassan Ibrahim, our online editor Omar Muhammad, I am Khadija Nulamin saying thanks for listening.